Yo, what up everyone? With the upcoming changes Crytek has announced, like Solo Necros coming back, the Magpie 10 seconds Dark Side, and the 50-meter Serpent for solo players, I wanna help you guys get an easier introduction into how to overcome the so-called solo anxiety, which is also the title of the video, how to have an easier way to get over that fear of losing gear, losing your hunter. But yeah, let's jump into the video. Also, as a little side note here, I do stream on Twitch 5 times a week, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop into my chat or just come in and say hi. The most brutal but also most fun way to play Hunt is solos. It's super rewarding, but at the same time, it punishes you hard for every mistake you do. You step out in the open and get double tapped, game over. You get ambushed on your way to the extract by a whole team, GG's. But there will be those games in which you will be the last man standing after an intense fight. Those wins feel so much more intense and you will remember them for weeks. But at the same time you will have days on which you will feel like uninstalling. Sadly, that's just the solo life. First big topic, and to address the title of the video, how to overcome the fear of entering the bayou by yourself, how to overcome solo anxiety. I'm a solo player myself for years and I will try to give you my best tips for starting out as a solo. Maybe you're spending a ton of time just playing randoms while you're waiting for your friends to jump on. Or you're just watching YouTube videos or Twitch streams because you simply don't feel comfortable jumping into the bayou without a team and randoms are just not it. Well, this is one of those things where you simply just have to jump into it. And at the beginning you will die a lot. Yes, you heard it right, dying in Hunt is your best teacher. Why is that, you probably ask? Obviously, you don't just queue up and intentionally die over and over again. But after you play, let's say, 50 solos, you will be less anxious about the whole progress. You have to overcome the anxious feeling of losing your hunter and the gear that comes with it. And you just see it as part of the program. Nobody starts out as a solo and just farms the W's all day. It's a hard skill to learn. You have to learn that losing your hunter isn't a loss. You have to learn that your hunt dollars are simply a way for you to have fun in this game. Doesn't mean you have to run the most expensive loadouts, but you shouldn't get traumatized by losing a few $100. If you spend all of your time to farm money with your friends and you keep seeing those hunt dollars go up and up and up, what even is the point? You aren't using your money anyways, so might as well use it to improve your own skills by becoming a solo gigashed. Learn from your deaths. My best advice would be use something like Shadowplay, a program that every Nvidia user gets for free to capture the last few minutes before your death by the press of a button. There are other programs that do the same thing, like OBS for example. And then be honest to yourself why you died. The answer should never be, oh, I missed that shot, oh wow, that guy got lucky. Try to be very self-aware and look especially at your decision making and positioning. Every time you die, you press your hotkey and it automatically saves the last 30 seconds or 2 minutes before you died. Once you make that a habit, you will get so much better in no time. The amount of times I rewatch my own gameplay on stream because I'm like, what the hell just happened? To then realize, oh, he was over there behind the fence, or oh, I did hear that audio. Like, it just helps you realize if you're tunnel visioning or you ignored audio cues. And thus, you can learn a lot from dying. Like I said already, dying is part of the progress. Give yourself the opportunity to learn from your deaths and don't just molt and go offline every time you lose a few games. Don't just blame the game, trading, or all the other issues Hunt has as a game, because even if those things are true, there still is always something to learn when you die. There always was a mistake you did, learn from them. Alright, we are jumping into the more interesting stuff, which is the actual games. First of all, you will have to figure out what playstyle you want to play. In my opinion, there are only two ways to efficiently play solos. Number one is play a shotgun and dominate the compound, or be a stealthy sniper and out-rotate your enemies and set up ambushes. Both playstyles have their own ups and downs. I will make videos on both playstyles, but in general, there's one thing when it comes to solo gameplay which is very important no matter the loadout. And that is, you have to find your advantage in every single fight. You have to imprint those words into your brain. Every fight in Hunt is different. There is no golden rule to follow. That is, also the beauty of Hunt. That is why we all play this game so much as we do, and probably why you're watching this video right now. You never fight in the same spots, you don't know how many teams or even players you're fighting until the fight is over, but you can always play to your own advantage. There is no shame in that, you're already joining the barrio by yourself, so don't make the match harder for yourself than it has to be. Everything you see and hear is always an enemy, use that to your advantage. You heard shots a compound away? See in the map cutout that they will come your direction? Hey, you got a scope, let's set up an ambush. Or, you do have a shotgun, you brought a sticky bomb? Maybe let's choke bomb that clue they are coming for. You know, slow them down because they think their enemy's close by, while you are rushing the boss and start setting up your defense, and so on. When you hear gunshots, try to listen to what guns are in the match. Plan your fight for that. Do people have shotguns, rifles, maybe an automat? Those are important informations. It's not about you knowing how every gun in this game sounds like, but having a general idea what loadouts you're about to fight is really important. You don't want to push a shotgun trio as a sniper, but you also don't want to third party a longer fight as a shotgun. Or maybe you had a shotgun at the beginning of the match, but the team you end up fighting are all Winfields and dual wielding, so where's the shotgun? They could be dead, but there could also be another team in the match that is still waiting for you. So, audio is your only teammate while playing solos, so use it. For example, if they are sprinting at you, maybe you can now take a quick peek at them. Did they just pull out a firebomb? Time to punish that person. Are they using Darkseid while being in a 1v1? Hey, that guy's probably necromancing. Let's push him. Another important thing as a solo player is do not hesitate. Always have a plan to follow. Does not matter what the plan is, but have a plan when joining the match. Do you run and rush the boss? If so, you're ignoring gunshots, as in you're not gonna third party and prioritize getting clues as quick as possible. When you bump into a team, do you want to actively fight them, or do you rather want to rotate and outsmart them? Doesn't matter what plan you have, but you have to stick with it. Plans can always get adjusted mid-match, but do have a plan to follow and don't just sit in a bush the moment you hear enemies. You want to be the one making the plays, not the one just letting everything happen. The moment you let your opponents dictate the match is the moment the game becomes their game and you can only react, which is the opposite of what you want to happen. It's better to die executing your own strategy than dying because you were scared and stopped following your game plan. From one, you can learn and improve, from the other one, you will only get frustrated. This is one of the major problems a lot of people have when they start off playing solos. You have no idea what to do or how to siege that boss layer. Hey, there's no shame in backing off and resetting that fight to get a better opportunity later in the match. Use your advantage and don't just get pinched because you were overwhelmed. Once you found your own strategy to win fights, you will become a true one-man army. What I did when I first started playing solos 4 years ago, I forced myself to make a decision the moment an opportunity comes. That means I do not hesitate, I hear crows being triggered, I decide right now, in this moment, if I want to fight that team or if I continue grabbing clues. I don't just sit there and question myself and then die because of it. When I didn't know what to do, I simply ran away. That sounds crazy and like a coward, but at least I had a plan. It's always better to approach a fight with confidence at a later point during the match than just die over and over again because you had no idea what to do and you basically just sat there and let it happen. Alright, how to approach fights as a solo. Here's the most important advice for fighting in general: look for 1v1s. This is not as easy as it's said, but for example, when you're fighting inside a compound and you hear somebody is flanking or somebody is isolated from their team, instantly take that 1v1 if there's an opportunity to do so. The reason for that is that fighting two people at once makes your life so much harder. Suddenly, they no longer have to headshot you, but both of them only have to deal 75 damage to you while you are still left having to down a hunter completely. So by fighting multiple 1v1s, give yourself the opportunity to win fights. Use hard cover or cheeky angles or maybe even consumables to limit the amount of players you're fighting at the same time. In addition to that, a good advice to make this happen is keep moving. Don't linger around the same position or don't peek the same window over and over again. By keeping on the move, you will make your enemies move as well, and every time your enemy is moving is an opportunity to create a 1v1. If you stand still and are fighting a team, you will end up getting pinched in a corner and most likely die. Once you open a fight, you don't just want to sit. Last known position is a very common thing teammates call out and constantly will have their eyes on. Hey, that guy just shot me from that balcony. Automatically, all of them will look at your last known position. By now peeking the corner of the building, for example, you will catch somebody off guard and give yourself a slight edge in that fight. Kinda exploit how the human brain works. If they have no clue where you are, they will most likely check the spot you were seen last. So, don't be there. Alright, this is the end of the video, but I have a last piece of advice for you guys. You all watch one-man armies like Hornet, me, Rakta, running around wiping servers on our own, but keep in mind that we all had to learn how to master soloing. So be patient with yourself, give yourself time. Find your playstyle. We didn't just decide one day that we are just gonna be a one-man army. I for myself died a lot and learned a lot from my mistakes. So be patient with yourself and don't just give up when things don't go your way. You will eventually master it. I hope these general tips will help you on your journey to become a true solo player. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.